10,000 subscribers! It's actually a bit more now. I mildly missed getting 10k. I was playing EU4. But that's okay. One of the skills I've learned getting here was the ability to edit images. So I'm going to be able to recreate that one. There we go. Oh, and in the background now, I did EU4, but every 25 years I delete one of the 8 grey powers as a video a while back. And I promised a time-lapse for that one, so here you go. Enjoy. Anyway, I'm happy to say I can tick 10k subs off the to-do list. So yeah, honestly, the rest of these seem pretty reasonable, so I guess I better start working on them now. That said though, let's do a little bit of a housekeeping state of the channel update. It's a bit hard to find time to talk about this stuff since I can never tell on a new video that I put out if there's going to be any of you that's seen my things before, so if I would say things, would they make sense? But I think it's pretty safe to assume that if you're watching a 10k sub special video, you probably at least know who I am. So let's talk a little bit about future planning. I am, for the most part, going to be sticking with EU4 or European Universalis overall as my bread and butter. But I'm not inherently against other games, although EU4 is the game I know and love. With that said, specifically for me, I think modifier stacking as a whole, I'm going to be focusing on a lot less. I won't say I'm retiring as a concept, more focusing on other things, but in full honesty, there are a couple more modifiers on topics I want to do within that domain, but I've kind of covered a lot of the good ones. I mean, I don't think a video where I stack something like naval morale is going to be particularly interesting to many people, although the Navy enjoyers are probably going to be very happy to just hear that be mentioned. With that said, tier lists are going to soon enter a similar problem. At the end of the day, after I've ranked everything in EU4 in the only objective way possible, well, that's going to be that. To be clear, I have plenty of other plans within EU4 that I find interesting, and I hope you will too. An AO-only video did quite well in fairness, and I do have other plans that I would rather not talk about, because if they don't work out, it's kind of bad to promise a video that doesn't happen. This is kind of the issue with modifier stacking runs as well. You can come up with a cool modifier, try to stack it to -100% or something similar, and find out you just can't. A similar issue happened with artillery combat ability, for example. There really isn't much in terms of artillery combat ability buffs in EU4 as a whole to warrant a video. That's, to be clear, artillery combat ability buffs specifically, not things like artillery fire. I would like to think there's a lot of cool stuff to do and a lot of content to cover, and EU4 truly is a game with near infinite replayability. Now though, a bit of a tangent, let's bring up comments. When I first started, I obviously wasn't getting many comments, if any at all, so every time I did, I was like, yay, someone is watching this, they care, and I'd respond to them. I kind of maintained this habit. In the case of transparency, again, YouTube on both desktop as well as the phone YouTube Analytics app has a recent comments tab where new comments left by people come in, and they're sorted there chronologically, right from the time they left them. And you can sort it by has not responded. So if I have responded to that message, it comes up in that list. I also get a notification in my right of my YouTube browser every time someone at LemonCake101 responds to me in the comments section or something. So that was very helpful for answering comments and being on top of them. I'm not exactly planning to stop, but it has led to some interesting interactions. Namely, people being very surprised when I do literally answer every comment, and a surprising consequence on the impact of the likes in the comments. See, normally you open a video and the comments with the most likes or whatever algorithm uses for today is near the top. But I don't see comments that way. I don't really go back on my own videos and read my own comments section from that menu. I use the YouTube Analytics app, which means every single comment I see for the most part arrives to me with 0 or sometimes 1 or 2 likes in the recent comment tab, meaning I end up being completely clueless which comments become popular and which do not. Anyway, with more of you guys coming in now, this is getting harder. We're now talking 2 up to sometimes 3 hours a day where I just sit down and answer comments and nothing else. My most used app on my phone, according to the settings, is YouTube Analytics, which is again just basically me sitting there answering comments. Now I'm going to keep going with that as long as I can, but I'm going to hit a point where there's going to be just more comments to answer than hours in a day. To be clear, I'm not planning on hiding away or anything. Feel free to come and chat with me in my Discord, as mentioned before many times. I exist, and I certainly do read it and chat there. It is getting a bit hard to keep up with general in there too, but if it's an EU4 question, well, there's plenty of lemon cake enjoyers who could answer it while I'm doing things like sleeping. With that said, let's now talk about everyone's favorite topic, money. Now, I'm part of the YouTube Partner Program, so I do get ad revenue, or at least a decent chunk of the ad revenue from YouTube. With that said, well, I've walked and talked with other people doing the whole YouTube thing in other fields, and comparisons happen. Turns out the overlap between people using ad blockers and watching tryhard EU4 content is pretty high. I don't know if I should repeat the actual numbers from YouTube Analytics, but let's just say if you're not watching me with an ad blocker, you're a minority. I can't blame you, really. I've seen those YouTube ads, and, well, they get bad. YouTube can literally play ads like every 2 minutes these days on a nice 6-hour video essay on a random video game from 2004. Now, I'm also a modifier stacking man. So let's imagine 2 scenarios here. You're a lemon cake enjoyer. So much so that you load up my videos and you watch them on repeat every single day for a month. Now, technically, on average, you're not watching ads, but I adjusted the calculations here on the percentage of the guys that do. Anyway, you watch me 24/7. That is, you consume 24 one-hour tier list videos a day, and you do that for the whole month straight. In scenario B, you don't watch a single of my videos, and you just email me a single quid. I actually make more money in scenario B, which is why I'm planning to introduce a Ko-Fi. It's linked below in my top pinned comment as well as in the description. And it's basically a Patreon, but one neat thing I found with them is that if you don't like doing subscriptions, which is fair enough, everything is a subscription these days, and it gets annoying trying to remember what you subscribe to and what you want to cancel and so on. Well, there is a one-off option, and those are, again, massively appreciated. I am, however, also going to be offering the classic tiers an option to purchase cool indulgences for those enjoying me with ad blockers. Get this and block away. A fancy 5 quid version, which I have a couple perks for written out. An even fancy one, where you are really a massive lemon cake fan for 20 quid. If you have any ideas for the perks you'd think would be a cool addition, I'm more than happy to take suggestions, so do tell me. With that said, the super observant among you who've already opened the coffee page have seen a hidden 4th tier. Well, again, I've been reading your comments. I've seen your cries for doing a proper tier list. You know, a tier list with over 3,700 entries. Or a tag tier list. Or whatever new genius invention you guys have in mind. Well, I want to be clear about one thing here. Every man has his price. And this price is mine. 1,000. This tier lets you select a video topic, one a month, that I will go and make. You want a province tier list? Sure. You want me to play Hearts of Iron 4? I guess you're paying. I will be clear, I accept random games people send me on Steam, which means I do own absolute gems such as Stay DPRK. And you know what? If you want me to actually play that, you know what? You guessed it. This is my price. Overall though, thank you very much for watching. It's been incredible getting as far as I have with 10,000, and I hope to keep going with that. Thank you very much for your support. It has been incredible, and yet again, I'll see you next one. Goodbye.